Keoni Diggs on June the 25th at Bellator 261. And of course, is Daniel Weichel on the show. Daniel, how are you, sir?
Very good. Just came home from training and getting ready to heading to the US next week.
Yes, sir. I mean, we're about a week and a half away, so the fight will be here before you know it. How has this camp been thus far?
Very good. Very good. We were luckily able to train also while the pandemic. Now the gym is normally open again, but we as professional fighters had the opportunity to keep training, and so we had a very good preparation, and I'm very happy. I'm healthy, have no injuries, and ready to go.
Yeah, it seems like life is getting back to normal for everyone around the world. Did you ever have a time period, like maybe even leading up to that Emmanuel Sanchez fight, that you weren't training as much as you'd like to?
Um, no, not really. But after the first fight with Sanchez got canceled because of the pandemic, pretty much everything was shut down. So at that time, also our gym wasn't able to open up. So at that time, I was most of the time training for myself, going running, yoga, and just what I could do for myself, you know. And I definitely I missed the training on the mats, but on the other hand, it was also a nice experience. Yeah, to have this, you know.
Obviously, people that are watching, you perform for Bellator, know you for your fighting, but take us inside the life of you outside of the cage a little bit. What kind of hobbies do you have that you like to do other than train mixed martial arts and beat people up for a living?
I definitely love to travel, you know. But first, beside fighting, I love to spend time with my family, with my little daughter. She's 3.5 years old, and every day there's something new. So I love to spend time with her, and yeah, for myself, I love to travel. I love to explore the world, beautiful places. I love to snowboard, to surf. That are things that I really want to do when I have time to. You know, in Germany, it's kind of hard to go surfing because the next ocean is quite a bit away. But sometimes we have good conditions to go to Austria for snowboarding, or even in Germany. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, with you traveling to the Mohegan Sun fairly regularly now, which is Bellator's adopted home, you're not too far from where I'm at up in New England here in
Okay.
Maine. So we have some really good snowboarding in some mountains. You ever thought about maybe planning to stay a little bit longer and go and do that sometime in the winter?
Definitely, I would love to. Definitely, but like after fights, most of the time I had straight back home because the family suffered a lot, sacrificed a lot with not having me around and been in training camp. So usually after the fight, I go straight back and really spend some quality time, and after that I go take my fam and go for whatever we love to do.
How long is the travel for you to make it to the Mohegan Sun? Is it like a full day or is it longer than that? Just run us through what the normal routine is for when you leave to come here to Uncancelable, Connecticut.
We have two flights. I think there's one connection flight in DC, I think. So the first flight is about 8, 9 hours or something like that, and then another 2 hours, and then we go from there from the airport. I'm not quite sure. Maybe another hour to the Mohegan Sun, and yeah, that day it's depends on how late we arrive. I try to get a workout in, get a break in the sweat, get the body adapted a little bit, and try to move. You know, after such a long time sitting, laying down in the plane, it's important to get the body going, and yeah, so otherwise it's too sleepy, too slow. So I definitely like to get a workout in the day I'm traveling.
For sure. I know for me, I love going to the Mohegan Sun. It's an unbelievable venue. But for you as a fighter, how are you liking it? I mean, this is where you'll be for, I assume, a lot of fights here, moving forward until Bellator starts to get back to normal and move around the world, which
Yeah,
they've done in the past. How do you like the Mohegan Sun? Are you enjoying it there?
I definitely enjoying it really much because I have had my first Bellator fight was in the Mohegan Sun, so I have great memories to that, and also I love to fight all over the world. Mohegan Sun is definitely a special place to me because it all got started with Bellator at the Mohegan Sun, so it's definitely a special place to me, and I'm looking forward to have the crowd back in the arena. It's always spectacular to have feel the energy and the atmosphere. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that takes the words right out of my mouth. I know a lot of people are very excited to have the fans back, both Bellator 260 and 261. The fans will be in attendance. How does that get you amped up for a fight? Obviously, as a fighter, you feed off the energy of the fans. Is this something that you feel like maybe took away from some of your other performances where you didn't have that energy to feed off of, or do you not care one way or the other?
Um, I try to prepare a little bit what I'm expecting when I'm going to the cage, and of course my focus and the main thing happens inside. But having the crowd in the arena is definitely an extra motivation, and it gives me a lot of support. Um, but of course, the main focus has to happen inside and before the fight. So I don't think it takes away anything from my performance, but I enjoy it much more with the audience.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, obviously, last fight was a loss to Emmanuel Sanchez. Very tough guy. I mean, no shame in losing to someone of his caliber. But what is the takeaway from that fight? Obviously, you'd like to get it back. What are you learning from that fight moving forward?
You know, I was definitely not the happiest with my performance, so I thought I could have done way better. So I should have been more active in many positions and get my wrestling more going. So I think this would be definitely a way to get the victory from him. But yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, I take away that I don't want to hold back anymore in any fight in any moment. Not only in fighting, but in fighting for sure. I want to perform at the highest of my potential, and I'm working on getting this out at any time.
Were you surprised as to the outcome of Sanchez and Pitbull, that second fight?
Um, to be honest, I thought the fight would go a little bit longer, but definitely the guillotine, also especially the arm in guillotine, is a very dangerous weapon from Pitbull. So when I saw that he was stuck in there, I know the fight would be close to over. Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win this championship matchup coming up between Pitbull and AJ McKee?
I'm very excited for that one. AJ improved a lot. Made he really developed the last years. I mean, I saw him fighting almost since the beginning, so I'm really looking forward to the fight. But I don't know. I think slight advantage to Pitbull, and with the more experience, the more calm he will pick his shots, and he will have a smooth game plan to get a victory. But fight is a fight, and I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, and obviously in 2018, you fought Pitbull to a split decision loss. Does that still irk you to think that you were that close and maybe you could have got the nod?
I know that I could have got it, but it's the same thing with Sanchez and some little adjustments or that I have to do and have to bring to the fight. It's just the little things that I have to change to get my style and my performance to the peak. And I know when I'm doing that, there's no chance to anyone they put in front of me.
Yeah, I like that answer. The featherweight division of Bellator is one of the best that the promotion has. It really is. It's amazing, stacked with some elite fighters. When you look at the fighters that featherweight that Bellator has versus the UFC, who's got the better roster there? Because I think it's pretty darn close. There's some great fighters on both sides. Who do you think has the better roster, top to bottom?
To be honest, I always said that Bellator has the one of the best featherweight divisions in the world. We have, as you can see at the fights and how everything's going, there's no difference between UFC fighters and Bellator fighters in featherweight. They at the highest level and elite fighters. So to me, for a long time, there I don't see any big difference of that. And yeah, it's just separate. It's just different organizations. But as we see, fighters moving from Bellator to UFC, they're successful, and the other way around. So yeah, to me, both are pretty much best of the world.
Yeah, great answer. Let's talk about Keoni Diggs. How are you going to give this young man his first loss of his professional career?
It will be all about my focus and keep my movement going, and spend no thought on anything. Just trust in my skill set and my team who have my back, and go out there and perform. It's all about performing. That's what I have to do.
Do you feel you hold one big advantage in a certain aspect of your game over him in this fight?
I don't know. I just feel that I'm the more complete fighter, and that I gonna put things better together. So this is also what gives me the more what gives me the confidence for that fight.
What does a win over Keoni do for you here? I mean, this is a guy that's got a lot of hype behind him. If you give him the first loss of his career, does that catapult you right back into the mix for, a big name, maybe a title fight or a title eliminator fight down the line?
To be honest, I don't know, and I don't care that too much. To me is about this fight right now. It's the most important fight right now in my career, because I have to perform, and that's what I want to prove to myself.
All right, very good. I can't wait for this fight. Daniel Weichel will face Keoni Diggs June the 25th at Bellator 261 at the Mohegan Sun. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to join me. Before I let you go,
Thank you.
I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to thank definitely my team, all my sponsors, and you can check me out on Instagram. It's Daniel Weichel, Facebook Daniel Weichel, and Twitter also Daniel Weichel. Thanks for supporting me, and don't miss the fight.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.